Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Water Cooler News. I'm your host, Gavin Lacefield. Coming up on February 16th in the Fellowship Hall, there's going to be a men's breakfast. This one's going to be really cool. We're actually going to have a build-your-own burrito bar. It's going to be fantastic. Hey, don't be afraid to bring your own salsas and toppings and stuff as well. It's going to be a great time to get together as the Men of Grace. Hey, I've been talking to you guys, and so has Gretchen, about the upcoming Discovery Group series, Into the Deep. But I'd like you to take a look at this.
Man, we are so excited about this series that we're going to dive into in Discovery Groups called Into the Deep. And you know, there's so many ways you can go with this in the Holy Spirit. Like, God calls us into a really deep relationship and intimacy with Him. But you know what? It's our choice. Do we go into the deep with Him in our relationship? Or do we stay surface, where maybe we have that false belief that it's safer? I want to encourage you to dive in. And I'm reminded when I think about this, into the deep, in Ezekiel 47, where it's a pretty familiar passage where it talks about the river being ankle deep. And then they go out a little further and it's knee deep. They go out a little further and it's waist deep. They go out a little further and it's so full, it's so deep that they can't even cross the river. They are just consumed with the depth of the water. But there's a very interesting verse right after that. It says, "Son of man, have you seen this?" And he took him back to the shore to be able to see what the depth of the water did. At the shore, there's trees that bear fruit every single month. There's leaves that don't wither, and their leaves are actually used for medicine and for healing. Now think about that picture. When we go deep with the Lord, when we go deep in our intimacy, when we go into the deep, deep parts of our heart with Him, where He corrects us and He challenges us and He woos us and He loves us, we find healing, we find sustenance, and we find food. So I encourage you, as you build relationships with each other through this series, I want you to ask the Lord the tough questions. Be brave and go into the deep with Him.
Hey, if you feel led to give today, you can do that by dropping your offering in the Cheerful Givers box. There's one located just outside the sanctuary doors. There's one in the foyer, and you can also give online at gracechurch.community. Thanks so much for joining me on this week's episode of Water Cooler News.